Aloha. I wanted to do a quick video to really hit the core of what this program is really based upon and how we get caught up in these separation grids. I just wanted to give a good example of how it's all spaced out and how the dots are connected that keep us thinking and believing in a system, focusing our life force energy within these hopeless state of beings, within these programs with fight ourselves, which just add to the illusory powers that be. And the core of this is the idea of evolution, the idea of innovation, and the undertone amplification of disempowerment. If the individual and the collective were to empower themselves, there will be no need for a control grid. This is why the education system is so ridiculous and so generic. This is why the materialistic version of your art, the materialistic version of your entertainment, the materialistic version of yourself, your human reality, it's based upon the physicality. It's based upon how you look, how you think, based upon what you think about of the system itself. That's within a box. So it's not really what you think, it's what you have been trained to think about. What you talk about with your friends and family is based upon what social media has pumped out there for you to think and talk about. What you think and talk about is basically locked into what the news, the mainstream news, politicians, professors, the idea of your history, the idea of your origins, the idea of everything. It's set up within a box, within a box, within a box, so that you will never challenge the system as a whole. These scientists are out there to anchor the space of your so-called humanity in the illusion of the artificial intelligence humanity. These entities that have been locked into this grid are stuck here. This destructive intelligence, the separation program I was talking about in the last videos, is an amplification of the parasitic program to suck the life force energy out of conscious living beings so that they may live through you. Like I said before, it's like a subtle demonic possession. We are under a spell of this low budget demonic possession within this bridge between, some people will call heaven and hell. I like to explain it as the extremes between light and dark, and the human space being the human experience, the human vessel being the bridge between that, having the idea of free will within our waking state experience to choose whether or not we are going to fall into the ignorant program of going along with the physical reality system, the separation grid, maximize and expand that destructive intelligence grid, or will we find it within ourselves to tap into our true soul journey, our true soul experience, our true connections to the Most High Spirit, and expand our true evolution outside of this artificial evolution they're calling innovation, and the monkey evolution and technology, transhumanism, and the cosmic mistake, Big Bang Theory bullshit that's all backed by NASA and the university system as a whole. This is the infrastructure of the governments that destroy the world. This is the infrastructure of it all. These entities that have been locked into this space, locked into this bridge. This whole physical reality is a bridge between energy. I see time moving backwards. Time, this is an observation purpose. Time really doesn't exist in the space that when you go into psychedelic spaces, when you go into meditation, when you are existing in a space of love where time seems to go by faster when you're having fun. See, you are actually experiencing time and creating time based upon how you perceive your reality. So if that exists, then time really doesn't exist. And the amplification of the clock system, the Gregorian calendar, the Julian calendar, the way space and time has been spaced out for us to experience this reality outside of the original time, outside of the original program, the soul design, the life force design of this bridge experience, outside of that space, we've been taught to train ourselves and train our kids and generations before and after us to worship this program and not know that there's anything outside of it, not know that we are more than our birth, we are more than our death. We exist. This physical reality is just the 0.0001% of our reality. So what is the rest of our reality? We are told that they don't know about it. The so-called they, the scientists, the professors, NASA, they don't know about what the ethers are. They don't know about dark matter and dark energy. So they demonize that, just as the scientism community demonizes religion in order to separate you from spirit. So they throw the baby out with the bathwater. So they throw dark energy and dark matter out, the actual 99th percentile of your reality. They throw that whole experience, which is the ether, the spirit energy, they throw it out with the fear program of darkness as a whole, only to hide themselves as being dark entities who cannot move on from this physical reality experience. So they create a shiny turd experience for you to believe that you are a shiny turd and that you should worship and listen to the individuals who have not only shined their turdy selves up for so long, but they put diamonds and a crown on top of their turd existence. This is the destructive intelligence program, which is why you have Donald Trump and Hillary out there as your so-called leaders of the free world, possibilities, candidates for that space. After they've already primed your mentality, primed your psyche to get... This is why Selma came out in 2014, to get the young voters thinking about politics as a whole, to set that up for Bernie to get out there, to set that up for Bernie to implode and send that energy off to Hillary. Because now they've been talking about it for the last however many months. Now they can't go back on themselves and then just act like nothing's happened. So now they're just floating around in this hopeless state of being, not wanting to vote for Hillary or Trump. So that's priming them for whatever is going to come as a result of the implosion program that they have amplified and activated on cue, knowing that the voting system is all rigged for the last... They've been planning Obama and Hillary and Trump and Clinton and Bush all decades out before. This is not a mistake. This is not a coincidence. This is not like something. This is a planned, systematic takedown and expansion of this program. Systematically. And they base this whole idea on the subconscious subliminal program that you believe that you are a monkey, that you believe that technology is the innovative space of our reality, and that the people who create that technology, so-called create that technology, because you are the one putting in the energy to actually do it. Just as much as you have to physically make those microchips for those smartphones, somebody has to do that. It sure as hell ain't no 1% person doing it. It's the individuals, and the only way they can do that is because they've been manipulated and locked into the fiat currency system, scared shitless for their very existence, trying to get a bowl of rice just to live every day. Feared shitless into this system, by the military industrial complex, by the prison industrial complex, by our very natures of not even being able to survive if we don't have these slave certificates to exchange for a bowl of rice, a bowl of beans, anything, in order to keep those diamond encrusted turds in charge of everything and everybody, all based upon an illusion. So the core of this is the word innovation. And Bill Nye throws this word out. Neil deGrasse Tyson throws this word out. Michio Kaku throws this word out. Everything that the scientism community is based upon innovation. Everything that the politician is saying that to keep America, to make America like that, America is still riding that whole wave from the industrial age, from the Model T, which was stolen in the first place. All the patent office bullshit, all of that stuff that's out there to create this idea of innovation, which is an automatic separation from your spirit. It is a de-evolution program so that you may keep up the so-called powers that be, who have trapped themselves here because they have separated themselves from spirit. So they have to convince you that you should separate yourself from spirit and lock into the innovation program known as transhumanism, politics, the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, the school system, the university system, everything that is mainstream. The social media agenda, the physical worship, all these women locked into thinking that they're only about what they look like, showing their titties and ass, showing, this and that, because they have no guidance, they have no connections at all. There's no depth there. There's no wisdom anymore. The separation from who our actual soul group people our energies have been demonized, called savages, called whatever, in order to make this technological system. This transhumanism agenda is no different than Christopher Columbus showing up to Haiti and telling the Haitians down there, hey, your religion is or your whatever you're doing, that's savagery. You need to be a Catholic. Or them going to Brazil, or them going to wherever they went, in order to tell them that their connections to Great Spirit are wrong. Not saying that there weren't some groups here and there who also took the separation track to make themselves be powerful in other spaces. Yes, I understand that. But that is that little edge that these so-called powers that be have used to throw the entire baby out with all the babies out with the bathwater and say everything that you're connecting with, everything that you're doing with is savagery. It's all wrong. You need to vest your energy in this program. And then when they needed to kick it into the next gear, then they threw the religious program under the bus in order to bring in the total separation program, which is the university system atheism program, which is locked into the whole technological versions of what you think you are as an innovative human being from the monkey, not from a spirit. So they convince you into this separation grid so they can parasite off of your life force energy, so that you may build the microchips, so that you may build the etheric microchips that allow them to install their trapped in this place software into your human experience, into the collective experience, so that they may continue to add more and more diamonds to their turd throne. And as long as they keep asking politely with this whole, they call it politely, but people are bleeding. This is polite. This is what I mean by polite innovation. That's politely asking you to believe in their lies, politely asking you to believe in NASA, so that you can lock yourself into 10 layers of illusion that is actually a separation from your spirit. So basically that's what I wanted to get off of my chest as far as this innovation space. What we call innovation is actually de-evolution. We are de-evolving. You are trapping yourself in the waiting room of spiritual movement. If we understand, for the people who understand that you are more of a spirit than you are the physical body, then you are actually more of what you experience as your spiritual experiences on this earth plane than what your physical vessel is experiencing. But everything about this reality, this mainstream reality, is based upon the physical experience. So that means that this whole experience is based upon the separation of your spirit, not the understanding of your spirit, because that's the only way that they can control you. So they have to separate you from Earth with the idea of the globe model, NASA, the university system, the public education system, the transhumanism agenda. They separate you from the collective consciousness, and with putting CERN out there to say CERN is what is doing what it's doing. With the Mandela effect, it's all about CERN. They have to have these programs that they've been working on CERN for 50 plus years. 50 plus years. They could have, if the Mandela effect started getting popular back in the 80s and the 70s, they would have just said it was CERN doing it back then. It's the same thing. They pull their cards based upon how we expand and adjust our consciousness. It's not the other way around. This is why they say they are the innovators, when it's actually us expanding our consciousness, experiencing this reality, expanding the reality by disengaging in the de-evolution program and reconnecting with our maximum potential, with it, which is the true connections to the 0.01% of this physical reality, and the amplification of the 99th percentile of this physical reality, which is the ethers, the dark matter, the dark energy, the stuff that they claim not to know about, which is actually spiritual energy, the balances and understandings of our infinite expressions, not the physical expressions. That's just a small percentage part of it. So they amplify you into the separation grid. And as I was saying in previous videos, as far as like time not really being, it's not being existing the way we think it exists, and being all over the place. Since we have different versions of our experiencing our reality from a timeline perspective, being the bridge between the lightest of the light and the darkest of the dark. Our actual physical reality, our conscious experience is heavy duty important as far as time goes, as far as consciousness goes, as far as true innovation goes, a true evolution outside of the physical reality. And in order for this control grid to exist, it keeps us in this Lunchable style, generic, government cheese sort of, bogus idea of who and what we are. And it's really just ignorance, which is the true evil. It's the ignorant space of not knowing our true potential. And they call it innovation, which is actually de-evolution. And some people you can even take this even further into, because I don't go too much into the whole alien stuff a lot more, because I see that, but that has to do with time and time travel. Some people understand like the grays as being like people understand that story of the grays time traveling and trying to create this whole space. They can't reproduce anymore. That whole story of them not being able to reproduce, so they have to time travel back from us and get genetic codings and play with the genetic codes. Same way these individuals in politics and the scientism community are pushing genetic manipulation and modification. So you can see there's similarities between the alien agenda and program and this whole demonic idea of interacting with your reality, so much so that you can't reproduce anymore and you will not exist anymore. Like this whole the gray agenda, that whole idea that exists out there, people have different perspectives on it. I don't like going into it because how I feel about the majority of that shit is just bullshit. It's just out there just to keep people into that whole alien agenda program. But there are those stories of aliens being demons and this demonic energy who has trapped itself into this program because it has separated itself from spirit, needs to convince you to follow their agenda in order to make them in their future timelines exist the way they want to exist based upon what their past, which is your present, manipulates as their reality. So this is why they can exist with spaceships and all that other stuff, is because this is the route or the journey we have chosen, but we haven't really chosen it. We are being manipulated to choose this based upon the co-opted versions of experiencing our reality, saying we came from monkeys, saying that technology is all about innovation. This is all a psychological mind control, and it's intertwined in some kind of way. These storylines are all mixed in some kind of way, and the basis behind all this stuff is the separation program, to separate you from your true power, your true essence, your true connections, your true nature, your true soul and experience as a whole, to continue to separate you from and distract you with the idea of innovation, the idea of evolution, the idea of experience, the idea of life and death, the idea of intelligence, the idea of knowledge, the idea of wisdom. All these ideas, which are just hamster wheels of distraction within the boxes of illusion. And they call it innovation. And these scientists, scientism-ists who are out there, Bill Nye, and this is kind of what set me off with this video now, is that whole innovation thing. And because they all throw it out there, you're against innovation if you believe in, a spirit or whatever, and how they duck and dodge talking about spirit or God at all, because that's totally counter to their misunderstandings they're pawning off as innovation. It's totally counterbalanced to their reality. It will bring upon questions about the globe model. It'll bring upon questions about the human design, and it'll start going into things that will disassemble the program as a whole. So I wanted to give some examples of what innovation is to them. So this innovation, this is an $80,000 missile. This is what innovation is all about. The military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, sending your babies to war to go kill other babies, making soldiers who make nothing, who can barely survive, who are existing as robot slaves, making them fire off $80,000 missiles. Well, they won't make that in however many years, their entire term, their entire career in the military. They won't make that much money, and it's in one missile to go destroy other people who have been locked in the innocent ones who've been locked in this illusion. These kids, these families that are being destroyed because of this innovation. that whole idea of democracy and capitalism and spreading freedom, it's because we have no connection to spirit anymore. We don't see these kids who are dying, who are killed every day. We have no connection to them anymore because we don't have any connection to our own spirit. We don't know that there is no separation between those kids and us because we are constantly distracted and constantly locked in to the idea of this is just the way it is, hopeless, locked into the apathetic version of our reality that gets pumped out of there every day by your president, by these politicians, by the mainstream media, by the newscasters, casting spells on your soul, your psyche, your physical reality, pumping your body full of genetically modified foods. That's innovation. That's what they call innovation. It's the separation program. It's total separation from your organic human design and your natural connection to spirit and what this place really is all about. This is a bridge, a transition space. This is actually the deepest of the darkest place that you can experience when this is what it's all about. I was gonna go into like stuff about the clip off and the Shell Kingdom. You can look into that stuff as further understandings of what this physical reality is about, like the hell, the actual hell stuff talking about, and why the spiritual peoples expand their reality and go into the spaces outside of this to see that it's beyond. But I'll just allude to it right now just to give an example of or an observation of the fact that the individuals who have convinced you that this reality is based upon innovating it, this reality is based upon love and light, this physical reality is based upon connecting with the aliens, the extraterrestrials, and the UFOs and all that other stuff, knowing that that's a part of this separation program. That is not your maximum potential. That is not what we need right now at all to expand, to truly start to heal what's going on. This place, the mainstream, the pop idea is to just keep moving, keep going on in order so people don't look into stuff like the white supremacy program and the separation of races, yourself, your culture, your essence, where people actually came from, where these stories actually begin, what's in our blood, what's in our genetic coding, and why are you manipulating our genetic coding? Why are you dumbing us down with the foods that we eat? Why are you dumbing us down with the waters that we drink? Why are we getting dumbed down by the education system? Why are we getting dumbed down by the university system? Why all this stuff? If you ask why at all, you are labeled as whatever, against the system. Some people still don't see that as a problem. And those are the people who are completely hopeless, completely disempowered, completely locked into that slave state mentality, which is exactly where people want, where the grid wants them to be, so they can vote, so they can give their power away, so that they may be so separated from their spirit and their true understandings of themselves that these separated demonic energies can continue to wreak havoc on the rest of the world and expand this separation empire. Expand. This is what all these military bases are all over these energetic points all over the earth plane. These military bases all over the place, that is locking down spiritual energy. It's locking down actual conscious evolution and installing fear, so that actions like this may be possible, and you'll vote for it, and you'll be okay for it. You'll allow it to be. Physically, psychologically, and spiritually. People constantly priding themselves in being a part of the system, priding themselves in death. Death. It's the same thing. Death within a box. Now you have a responsibility to be a hamster slave on a hamster wheel, in the box within the box within a box, because you have been sold 1 degree of your reality by trickster magicians who need you to utilize that 1 degree of separation from spirit, from your maximum potential, to allow this system to keep doing what it's doing. To allow this, within this pride, within this separation, within this physical reality, boxed in illusion, constantly locking you into a genetically modified idea of yourself, playing with your codes, never letting you know, passing laws, passing bills for you to be part of this zombification idea of the human experience. Voting for it. And it's just going backwards in time. This innovation, this is what they call innovation. Innovation is de-evolution, it's death. Genetically modified foods, these bacon commercials, Happy Meals, selling toys with these meals that will give your kids cancer, promoting the meat-eating agenda. When kids are being born vegan, being born vegetarian, kids are born like that, having their actual connections to spirit, knowing that they're not supposed to be eating that flesh of another being like that. They already know this. And the system is so designed, so ingrained in us, that we force our kids to do things that they are born knowing that they shouldn't do. They got that information from something beyond your little funky ass idea of what is all about. But some people can't do anything about it because they are locked into the fiat currency system, the impoverished system, and they got to do what they got to do. They got to eat what they got to eat, or they don't eat. That's a demonic ass program that we call normal. This mother cured her little girl with an organic raw diet. How many other kids would be able to do the same thing? How many other kids are developing cancers right now as we speak because they are part of that fast food, genetically modified meal right now? How many people would still be alive if cannabis wasn't criminalized by these same separation politicians who are separate, who need to separate you from medicine so that you may not heal yourself and you may not challenge the system, so that you may not be healthy, so that you will need to be locked into the so-called health care system so they can profit off of your sickness and disease. That is the intent of the healthcare system, is to keep you sick and diseased with commercials, television, all paid for and sponsored by your government, by the separation program itself. And you have the individual and collective choice to understand how deep this program goes. And once people get overwhelmed with, I don't know what to do. Don't overwhelm yourself with that space, because you only need to start that process, because we are existing on the physical, mental, psychological, and spiritual plane. So if enough people just start to question their reality and see how this stuff goes, then the answers will come in on their own. Once enough people start to question that reality, the answers will come, like synchronicity. But we have to get out of that hopeless state of being in that fear program of not even at all thinking about it, that distraction grid, which is what the social media program is all about. Just think about this. Once people start going out of that reality and going into themselves and truly empathizing with what's really going on here in your own little community and what's going on the other side of the earth plane, that's when these things will start to change. They will be held accountable based upon your consciousness. These individuals, these separation, the destructive intelligence is locked into understanding the consciousness grid. They are adjusting to how you expand your consciousness. And the only way we don't do it is because we are totally distracted by their doggy treats. Totally in this ignorant space of realizing that this is on purpose. The criminalization of cannabis, psychedelics, alternative spiritual connections and understandings of their reality. It's all because they don't want you to go any further. Cancer. How many people in your family have died from cancer? And it's largely because they pumped it out there through the food, through cigarettes, through the alcoholism, through the movies, through the cartoons, through the school system, through the university system. All your doctors have to go through the university system to get their doctorates. It's all connected. It's all connected. Diabetes, seizures, Crohn's, asthma, PTSD, chronic pain, arthritis, neuropathy, multiple sclerosis, glaucoma. Just a few of the things that can be affected by a plant that they have criminalized and have convinced people to look down on other people who are medically utilizing this stuff. A plant. Oh, you're doing cannabis. Oh yeah. You only think that way because these assholes made you think that way. You wouldn't think that way if dandelions was curing cancer or spinach. Some bullshit. This is the way people are training themselves. They are messing with your psychological frequencies. And people are dying for it. And other people got the nerve to get on other people who are trying to share information about stuff. Tell them, shut your ass up. I don't want to hear that shit. You got something to say? Go somewhere else and say that shit. There's so many other things that are going on in this reality. Nobody has the time to be sitting around listening to ignorant ass people talking about trying to defend a slave program, trying to defend a separation program, trying to defend ignorance. some bullshit. Homeless people on the street, more empty homes than homeless on the streets. This is legal, so-called legal. This is okay. This ain't no different than the criminalization of cannabis oil. It's the same shit. Which death do you want? This is normal. Only because they are distracting you. Only because they have separated you from everything that you think is real. Billions and billions and billions of dollars locked into illusions, destructive intelligence, artificial intelligence, separation programs. All of this is connected. You can see where the so-called where their focus is. It's on the magic spells. They don't give one shit about you. Whether you're dying from lack of food or no home, no shelter on the streets, or cancer. They want you to be locked into the illusion, the globe model, the university system, the transhumanism program, their so-called innovation. Then you get these assholes out here like Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about, in just 1 year, the expenditure of the U.S.'s military budget is equivalent to the entire 50-year running budget of NASA combined. Why don't we just put more money into NASA? Because we already spend it on military. This is that okie doke. It's that layer within the layer. Just like the university system demonizes religion in order to make itself look good, relevant, real. They gotta demonize other parts of the separation program in order to make itself get more money, be more relevant. Like people talking about, yeah, you know what? We are spending too much money on war and destruction. We need to give peace a chance and change and start investing in going to Mars and going to the moon and going. What the fuck is wrong with you? Locked into an illusion. That's what's wrong. That's the design, to get these asshole ass magicians who get in your face and just make you believe in this shit. Look you straight in your eyes and believe in this shit. Fucking asshole. Putting pictures in front of you. That's basically it. That's all I wanted to get out of there with this video, is talk about innovation and so-called innovation, and how it's really this separation demonic program. It's de-evolution. It's locking you into the waiting room of your true expansion, your true understanding, connection to spirit. You don't even get to experience your reality. Why you chose to come into this physical reality as a whole. It might be the deepest, darkest, most fucked up place that you could go and that you can anchor yourself in. But what is the balance to that? Where are you going? If you were born to come through here and then you die, where are you going? And what, before you go there, what have you chosen to do here? Not what they have locked up, that's set up for you to do here. What connection do you have with spirit? What decisions have you made with spirit to anchor within this reality on a soul level before you move on? We won't know if we're stuck on Facebook and Instagram and showing titties and ass and getting all proud of all this transhumanism, separation program, illusion bullshit. But that's the design of this program. So that's basically it. That's all I wanted to share with this. So thank you for joining me. Until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.